past year, I've had the wonderful opportunity to be working with Jeong-ok Jammie and Jammie from Project Annie. They applied for a show through our Artist Advisory Committee, who juries in on our shows, and they kind of had a really particularly unique proposal for us that really had a lot to do with our mission statement here at International Artists, which is to create cross-cultural understanding through the arts. So they brought us this great, contemporary Asian show that was site-specific in nature, and we're really excited to award them this show. And over the past year, we've been organizing and meeting and talking about all the logistics of, getting soon here from Korea and all this stuff. So it's been a very fun and rewarding experience for me. It's kind of a great last hurrah as my tenure here at Juilliard Art Space ends, to have such a wonderful show to kind of go out with a bang with. So thank you very much, and I'll pass on the mic to Jeong-ok Jammie. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Jeong-ok Jammie, co-curator of Co-curators Space. I'm very pleased to have you all today for our start of this special exhibition, which showcases site-specific works by 4 Asian artists, one from Korea and one from Philippines, who is currently residing in Boston, and one Thai and one Chinese artist who are living in Washington, D.C. metropolitan area. I will give you a brief background of this exhibition, how we came up with the idea and its progress, and also how it goes to the outcome. And Jammie Chang, the curator, is going to talk about the specific concept of the show, and then each artist is going to talk about their work, and then we will open to you for questions. Sounds good? So Jammie and I started to talk about this project early last year in 2009, and we found that we have a common interest in curating a show which focuses on Asian contemporary art, particularly dealing with the site-specific installation, and also concentrating on its conceptual side and the process. As a newcomer to DC from Asia, we found that there are many exhibitions held in this area. There are set to present the Asian arts, tended to be either rediscovering traditional image of Asia or representing the cultural symbol. And also they were done that sort of exhibition in a very literal way. So for us it was kind of interesting phenomenon, because it's not something that we normally found in the contemporary art exhibition in our country, which is Korea and Taiwan. And also I believe not really in the contemporary art exhibitions throughout Asia. So that was a starting point for us to look for the artist who is not really dealing with the traditional or culture, but rather, or even have nothing really to do with whether or not they consider that such idea of culture or tradition. So as you can see, the artists here are more like they try to show their very distinct interest, and also shows very different aesthetic approach in their work. But yet we also see that they have some common interest in common interest in the notion of here and now sort of a concept, which means that they are very aware of their position in everyday life context. So that was pretty much the starting point and how we look for the artist. And also another side of the thing that we were very interested in putting in this exhibition was, when we look at the exhibition that is related to the international exchange, It seems like something between one country and another, like it's between like two countries only. But we wanted to show the artists from various nations in Asia, so that way we can see more styles and more various perspectives from different places. And also, the last thing that I want to point out is that we try to include the artists. In choosing the artist, Jamie and I picked 2 artists each, so 2 from local and 2 from outside DC, and 2 emerging and also 2 like established. So that way they can kind of influence and inspire their work as they develop their project. So yeah, this is, I'll try to make a very brief background, but it seems like a little long, but because I wanted to give some the overall idea behind how we put up mount this exhibition. So we hope that this puzzle in a space can kind of increase more interest in Asian contemporary art and bring unique works to the art community, and also hopefully it suggests some kind of new way of exchange of arts and culture.
Before I started, I want to thank everyone for being here again. As Jonah just addressed, we came up with this idea to have this show 1.5 years ago. And since I always enjoy the art which invites the audience to be part of it, the fun and the meaning of it just expand through the way. From the first time we met and we found that we shared a similar idea, and so we decided to have this show, Sites specifically. So after we have the genre of the show, the exhibition, we started to find artists. So as you can see, the 4 artists in this show, they're all doing site-specific artworks. Each of the artists has established his and her own characteristics. And we were curious how the very different 4 artists how can their work together in this one unique gallery space. I mean, the 4 artists, they have different cultural backgrounds. They came from, 2 of them are from local DC area, and 2 are, one is from Boston, and the other is actually from the other side of the planet. So now you see how we puzzled space. And they don't know each other before the show. And since they're doing site-specific work, we believe there will be some communications and conversations through their work. The whole process of putting up the show is very much like an experiment. And it's a fun experiment, just like Graham just said. Also, it's part of the concept of puzzle in the space that we would like to remind and reflect the process side, just to remind everyone this simple and planned performance which everyone do every day. And usually the simplest things are the most important things. They initiate all the possibilities. So as you can see, the show turns out to be dynamic not only on the aspect of the variety of media, and also the wide spectrum of cultural meanings, but also the interesting communications among the 4 Well, at least it works that way to me. So if you ask us, do we plan this beforehand? I would say yes and no. That like we expect there will be some conversations between the charts. And we expect it, we didn't set any limitations on it. So it turns out to be more fun than we thought. So I hope you enjoy the show, and I think I've talked a lot.